Okay, good evening to all.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, we will start today's session. Let us start from the quiz. So, anybody got the answer for these questions? The first one, consider the following statement: the president and the governors are bound by judicially imposed timelines for acting on bills presented for assent. Then second, the concept of deemed assent is inferred from the Constitution. And both the statement, I have given enough explanation. So based on the explanation, if you are remembered well, then answer the following. Only one statement correct or two correct or both are correct or neither one nor two. ரெண்டுமே தப்பு. எது?
Neither one nor two, sir.
Neither one nor two. Sure.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of deemed assent inferred from the Constitution? What's the concept of deemed assent?
Deemed assent is when the governor or the president misses to give approval to a particular bill beyond a specific timeline, then the Supreme Court itself can take the liberty to give an assent to a bill, is what is termed deemed assent, sir.
Yeah, that's good. Adadu, if a president or governor beyond time limit, no need, but because time limit is not mentioned in the Constitution. Even in the second referral case also, Supreme Court confirmed that there is no timeline. But by considering that if Supreme Court felt that it is beyond a certain period of time, they could not be able to take decision on the particular bills, then the remain silence over the bill by both of the authorities automatically they have given the assent. அதாவது அமைதியா இருந்தாலே அந்த அமைதி they can give. So approval is given or getting from the governor or happened in the Supreme Court versus Tamil Nadu of the government of Tamil Nadu versus the governor case. But later in the Supreme Court said that there is no such kind of concept of deemed assent in the Constitution also. So it is very clear. There is no concept, such kind of concept inferred or included or reflected in the Constitution. One. And the first statement, the president and governors are bound by judicially imposed timeline. Not at all. This is what the Article 143 referral case in the Supreme Court is confirmed. Okay, so both the statements are wrong. So option D is the answer. Okay, what about the second one? Ducombe Port, recently in news. That is strategically located in which ocean or which sea?
The Arabian Sea.
Arabian Sea. Okay. Okay. Which country it is there? Ducombe Port. Recently, our Prime Minister has visited 3 countries, geo countries, I said. And it was the news when we were talking about the Indo-Oman. Do you remember now? In Indo-Oman bilateral relations, when we were discussing, the port was utilized by the India also for the strategic economic activities. So it is in the Arabian Sea. And third one, this also we have discussed enough. The rupee depreciation. எதெல்லாம் Which of the following is the pressure on rupee depreciation in India? Indirectly, if we ask what are the following reason our rupee has depreciated against dollar, இது சொல்லாமே. Anyone?
Sir, இதுல 1 and 2 மட்டும் கரெக்ட் இல்லையா சார்?
1 and 2 மட்டும் கரெக்ட்ங்கறியா?
ஆமா சார்.
1 and 2 okay. What about third and fourth?
Third one is not a pressure, sir. It can rather be considered as a reason for us to get satisfied that rupee depreciation is not, it is okay to have a very limited rupee depreciation.
Limited means the inflation of the particular country is not impact over the foreign currency, correct?
Yes, sir. One way.
Yeah. Then, what about the fourth one? US bond வந்து என்ன denominationல இருக்கும்?
Dollars.
Dollar. If dollar is yielding more return, the yield raising, that means dollar is yielding or டாலர்ல இன்வெஸ்ட்மென்ட் பண்ணா எனக்கு return அதிகமா கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னா, okay, so most of the people where they will like to invest
In the US. So fourth one is also a pressure.
If US bondல இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்றாங்கன்னா, the investors, those who have already invested in the other like India and other countries, they will withdraw their dollar and they will invest on the dollar US bond which is available globally, correct?
Sir.
Or in other way, if dollar related bonds are giving more return, means everybody will invest over that dollar bond, so dollar will automatically strengthen. Okay, if dollar strengthen means then directly or indirectly the country which are related to particular foreign exchange reserves in terms of dollar, the domestic currency will depreciate. So these two are interrelated. The capital flow, capital outflow, not inflow. So capital outflow is the dollar goes out from the Indian market. So Indian market in the sense that the stock market or the investments goes out. Okay, and that is one of the reason because of the global macro back. What is that? This is nothing but the global uncertainties. That's the macro drops. Global uncertainties on so many things are there. Increasing crude oil and other the war-related uncertainties between the countries and the tax rates by the increasing by the America. Okay, so these are the various reasons. So reason the rupee is getting depreciated. So answer we can say it's a B, correct? 1, 2 and 4 option இல்ல. Make it 4 here. 1, 2 and 4.
Okay,
then
sir.
Next question. This question, how many of the following are matched correctly? 1 மட்டுமா 2 மட்டுமா or 3 onlyயா? And this one article, sorry, this is 361. Mistake is there. This is 361, article 361. Okay, which known article is for you feel that it is completely wrong? எந்த ஆர்டிகல் பார்த்த உடனே தெரியுது இது வந்து சத்தியமா இது கிடையாது அப்படின்னு?
Article 143, sir.
Article 143. ஏன்னா 143 talks about presidents refer, doubt or raising question or seeking advice from the Supreme Court. Correct? President can seek advice from the Supreme Court through Article 143. Okay. So how many? So one poetry. Then what about Article 200? Keep on talking about Article 200 only. It is related to
Governor's assent to bills.
assent to the bills. So it might be president or governor. So especially for the governor. So Article 1 is correctly matched. Okay. So sorry, option 1 is correctly matched. 2 illa. What about 3? 3 we have discussed. Because Article 361 gives immunity or it gives power to protect the president and governor over the bill or whatever the execute decision taken by them could not be raised or claimed through judicial solution. That means judiciary cannot interfere on them. So 2 are correctly matched, 1 and 3. So just note it down, Article 200 and Article 361. So the option is B. Okay. So these are the 4 questions based on the previous 2 days newspapers. And let us go through today's news. In today's news, in the editorial, we had 3 similar topics are there. They are not much more relevant to the preliminary point of view, but the main point of view is somewhat important. All the 3 editorials are talking about the migration and migration from the all the group. And this one talks about the migration by the particular group, that is students or for education purpose who else are moving out from India to other countries. Then this article is talking about the recently they introduced one bill, Vikshit Bharat Gramin Ramji bill. Okay, by replacing the MG Narega Act. And another one bill, yesterday we saw about the Shanti bill. The Shanti bill about the privatization of the nuclear energy. Okay, so Shanti bill, it's a sustainable harnessing and advancement of nuclear energy for transforming India bill 2025. It is in bill status. Okay, if it is being passed by both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, and after getting assent from the president, it will become act. Okay, so that's why this bill we have seen already. And so once again, and yesterday there was a question, it is only for Indian private partners or foreign private partners. I said it is only for Indian private partners, but it has the in the class it is mentioned here, it is for the both Indian and foreign. So note it down, because yesterday this class was not clearly mentioned in the newspaper, but here today it has been mentioned. The bill which aims at incentivizing private sector participation, both Indian and foreign, into the nuclear power production. And we have seen some of the points also why the government has been passed this bill. Okay, and you can note down some of the points related to this one. It is the biggest shift in nuclear policy since independence. Okay, because 1962 Act Kapram, this is the next one. They are transforming or changing some of the class related to nuclear energy. Then one more new class is here. This here it is mentioned here. This bill removes the responsibility of suppliers who are supplying the equipments to the nuclear power plant. Okay, அதாவது ஏதாவது என்னென்ன அதாவது எக்யூப்மெண்ட்ஸ் மீன்ஸ் மேஜர் எக்யூப்மெண்ட்ஸ் ரியாக்டர். ஸோ ஏதாவது ஒரு ஃபாரின் பிரைவேட் கம்பெனியோ இல்ல இந்தியன் பிரைவேட் கம்பெனியோ ஒரு நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர் சப்ளை பண்ணுது. If it is failed or if it is create any accident, okay, but then the supplier is no need to take any responsibility. This was one of the clause. Okay, so this clause has been highly criticized, opposed by the opposition parties. One, okay, so which means the operators won't be liable for the damages. Then second clause, the maximum amount of liability. Okay, liability na எவ்வளவு ஏதாவது ஆச்சுன்னா திருப்பி கொடுக்குறது. So responsibility in terms of finance, in terms of amount. Okay, so the maximum amount of liability in respect of each nuclear accident should be or shall be 300 million rupees. Okay, 300 million means 300 into 10 lakhs rupees as the liable amount. Okay, that is fully given by the central government. One, and this in the positive way, if we want to discuss or if we want to write, this is the bill which replace or which ends the monopoly in the nuclear power sector. Okay, the bill ends the monopoly of the nuclear energy sector. We can say monopoly means what? Monopoly. So because previously or at present, the entire nuclear power plant maintained, controlled, regulated by the NPCIL, National Nuclear Power Corporation India Private Limited. Okay, India Limited. Nuclear NPCIL. This is comes under the Act of the Atomic Energy Act 1962. Atomic Energy Act 1962. Okay, so in the very first step we can say that the entire bill is replaced the monopoly of end the monopoly of the monopoly in the nuclear energy sector. So it invites more private healthy private people or private participation. Okay, to reach the target of what we have set, around 100 gigawatt electricity through nuclear power by 2047. So for that it is introduced. And third point, you can say the bill is giving the expanding the private roles. Okay, the expanding in the sense from the fuel cycle activities, then equipments manufacturing, power generation, and all. Okay, so the fourth one, modernizing the regulation. Okay, is the regulation. Okay, so modernizing the regulation, then the safety regulation, because if private parties are enter into the such a more crucial power sector, then the regulatory mechanism should be somewhat higher in advanced level. So this is one of the reason. Another one, there must be a nuclear tribunals for dispute, the dedicated nuclear tribunal for dispute. These things are not there in the Atomic Energy Act 1962. There is no such class was there. Okay, so these are the new class they have been included. And what it has been mentioned here, the removal of the clause in existing Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act 2010 that allows operator of the nuclear power plant to claim resources from supplier. This clause has been removed. Okay, supplier idukku munnala ennaachuna supplier has the responsibilities. Okay, they allow operator of the nuclear power plant claim resources from the supplier if the equipment was found being responsible in the case of accident. Okay, நான் வந்து ஆபரேட்டர், எனக்கு சப்ளை பண்ணது ஒரு தேர்ட் பார்ட்டி. ஸோ பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் தி ப்ராடக்ட்ல எனக்கு ஆக்சிடென்ட் தான், அந்த ரியாக்டரால எனக்கு மேஜர் ஆக்சிடென்ட் இருந்து அப்படின்னா, as a operator I can claim the resource, I can claim the supplier. And this class is not there in the current bill. Okay, but this is one of the main criticism put up to the government. What alternative you are included in that clause? This was in the discussion. Okay, and there might surely if it is being represented, or if it is being gone to the joint parliamentary committee, in the committee they can give some recommendation to change that clause. Okay, anyway, in upcoming newspaper we can discuss that one. What are the final decision is going to take place in each classes. This is the one. And the next, this is one. Let us we will see somewhat later. This come to the next most important topics regarding the MG Narega. This also we are discussed in the last 2 days. Okay, so some difference you can make it. You can write it. So in 2005, what was there in the MG Narega, and in 2025, what was the changes? Okay, so the first change the name from MG Narega Act to Vikshit Bharat Rozgar Gramin Bill, Vikshit Bharat G and Ramji Bill. Okay, Vikshit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission. Mission means is a Gramin Mission. Or okay, this is the full form of that scheme. One. And so in 2000, the 2005 Act and 2025, here the first one, the guaranteed number of days were given 100 days. Here 100 days guaranteed employed. Here in the new bill says 125 days, and in 100 days in throughout a year without any pause period. Okay, without any pause period means throughout the year it will be happening. Okay, so no pause period. But here 60 days during peak agriculture activities or agriculture activities. That agriculture monsoon agriculture activities அப்ப இருக்கும்போது அந்த 60 daysல they should not give any work. They should not give the 125 days and the 60 days complete gap must be given. எதுக்கு? To prevent. எதுக்குன்னா the labor must be available for the farms. Okay, and artificial wage of inflation இருக்கும். You know, if you are giving money to the people for the guaranteed employment scheme, then the inflation will be there. That means that we will call the artificial wage inflation. So to prevent the artificial wage inflation, and then to reduce the food price. Okay, so because of this one, yes, 60 days break, complete break should be given. This is one of the good one. And another one, the overall the scheme, they are transforming or shifting from demand driven into supply driven. This one is demand driven. This will completely focus on supply driven. Okay, so supply driven, and what is the difference between these two? Here, irrespective of any plan, okay, irrespective of any plan, any work will be given to them. Okay, if the demand of the employed, the employees are available, so for them some work has to be given. That might be anything. But in supply driven, some works are fixed one. Okay, this is what has to be done. Okay, that means the scheme itself is supplying the work to the allotting the work. Okay, that means the pre-planned work. Work is allotted. This one. Okay, so for example, we can say in the terms of here a normative allocation we can take. We can this one is a normative, normal. If it is whether the available or available, not available, workers are in demand of work, so give any work. This is what in this case, MG Narega case. So normative allocation, that is called normative allocation. This one. And so as the MG Narega does not focus on the specific work, but the Vikshit Bharat Ramji Act, it focuses on more the four priority area. It focuses four priority areas. என்னதெல்லாம் அப்படின்னா the water security, then second, core rural infrastructure, then third one, livelihood related work, livelihood related work means so many work, the physical related, the livestock, fishing, and human livelihood related work, skill based, okay, then health related any works, then financial related means savings, microfinance, and credit, in that including those peoples, okay, this one. And the fourth one, climate resilience related work, the climate resilience. So what it is that rainwater harvesting, and if it is coastal area, then how to avoid the coastal erosion, for that growing mangroves, taken care of the mangroves. So these kind of related, the pre-planned work or planned work will be given to them. Okay, so these are the major difference. Now come to the article. So based on this idea, we can go to this. Another one. Here the budget allocation in 75 is to 25 in the non-tribal areas other than non. Okay, and but this one give more burden on the state governments, which means 60% by the central government and 40% share must be given by the state government. These are the major differences. Okay, now come to the point what it has been discussed here. Some of the criticism, the opposition parties concentrating more on the name, Gandhi name. Why did you remove the Gandhi? Okay, and they did not discuss anything about the positive aspects of this class, but they are the first point they are highlighting in front of the ruling party by saying the Gram Swaraj and Gram Panchayat, the everything was given more important by the Gandhiji, but now you are removed the Gandhiji name. Okay, and in one extent they went further, why you are keeping the Ramji name. Okay, and that means they are coloring with the religious space. And but these criticisms are not that much valid. Okay, the entire bill is not talks about Lord Rama. Okay, the Lord Rama meaning is different, that the pleasing or delightful, and he's one of the seventh of the most popular avatar of Vishnu. So he is not, the bill is not cannot relate it with Lord Ram. Okay, that everybody knows, but politically they have to create something, unwanted, unnecessary things. Instead of saying the opposition party, they should have given to the ruling party by saying, okay, if without changing the name, you can include or you can change some of the clauses in the name of Amendment Act. So like that they can give, but simply they are criticizing in different direction. Okay, this one. And so all the points are related to those two lines only, I think so. Here the fundamental character they you removed, then link is Gram Swaraj given by the Gandhiji, but you are not taken care of. And another one, this is one of the point of what we discussed. The government points out that increase in the days of work 125 years is a major benefit for the people of rural area. That obviously everybody knows. And by calling the Vikshit Bharat Ji Ramji a centrally sponsored scheme, but it is not a fully centrally sponsored scheme, but financial burden is too much over the state government. Okay, that is 60 is to 40%, 48%. Then, and because this is one of the valid point given by the opposition parties, which means all the states are having not that much financially healthy state to give that much amount, okay, in to this scheme, sponsor this scheme, and the supply driven and demand driven, and that what has been proposed is supply driven framework, wherein allocation will be capped, that is decided by the union government. Okay, and this is one of the highly centralized scheme. That means a state government cannot divide what to be done, but it is the central government will decide what these are the work to be allocated in each state. Okay, this class can be revived if opposition parties give much more pressure on deciding what work has to be allocated. And the feature of the bill, which is meant to ensure that work does not clash with the farm work during the sowing and harvesting. That is why a 60 days pause period is introduced. Okay, so because of that one, lots of chaos happening. நிறைய குழப்பம் வருது. ஏன்னா நாத்து நடுறதுக்கோ களை பறிக்கிறதுக்கோ இல்ல ஹார்வெஸ்ட் டைம்ல agriculture laborers தேவைப்படும் போது these agriculture laborers will be in that MG Narega scheme. Okay, so அப்போ ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா the labor charge will increase. So to avoid this one, under time, all the works related to this scheme will be stopped. Okay, this is one of the good provision in that act. Sorry, not act, in this bill. Okay, so these are the various points. I think this is sufficient to this article. Anyway, much more article will come up in the next few days. And we'll move to the main editorial page. The editorial page, already I said two major editorials are there. Both were talking about the migration. One is the gender migration, another one is the migration for the purpose of education and employment by the students community. So first we will see this one, the story of the moving people. Actually, we the people, it used to start in our constitution preamble, but the author has given in different direction and he has given title. In short, I am telling what it is exactly in this news. Okay, in the introductory part, he is talking about what is meant by settlement, or which means citizenship means what. This is what he has given in these 4 lines. Citizenship is tied to a person's residency in a delimited territory. Delimited territory is the established boundary of the country. Okay, அதான ஒரு சிட்டிசன். குடியுரிமைங்கிறது ஒரு நாடு, ஒரு கண்ட்ரி என்ன ஒரு வரையறுக்கப்பட்ட ஒரு எல்லை கொடுத்திருக்கோ அந்த எல்லைக்குள்ள வசிக்கிறது, அந்த எல்லைக்குள்ள ரிசைடிங். சோ அது ஒரு பாயிண்ட். அப்புறம் செகண்ட் பாயிண்ட், வாட் இஸ் a citizen is ordinarily expected to be residing in a particular location. The migration of the people across border, international or within the country. So international means moving out from India. Within the border means Tamil Nadu to Delhi, Bihar to Tamil Nadu, here and there, moving for certain purpose. That is what this paragraph says. So neither government nor political parties are fully equipped to deal with such kind of migration. And the plan is not there. Okay, and none of the state government having the valid data in their hand that how many of the peoples has transformed, moved from their native states and what purpose they have residing there. So this is somewhat difficult also, because everyday movement also there. Some are settled, some are non-settled, some are working in a month, and so that is why it is somewhat difficult. That is why the author says neither government nor political parties having fully equipped with the exact data of the migration within the Indian territory. Okay, and so for what reason this paragraph talks about the reason for the migration, for internally and externally. This is the reason we know, obviously, the rapid urbanization and frequent migration of population from one place to another place on account of education, livelihood, and other reasons have become the regular trend. Some electors obtain this is why the migration took place. And this paragraph talk about the migration, what is happening, what are the effect. Okay, because migration, some electors registration in one place and shifted their residence and registered themselves at the another place without getting their names deleted from the electoral roll of the initial place of residence. So this has led to an increased possibility of repeated entries in the election roll. Finally, article going to focus on SIR. Okay, yeah. If a group of people or a person moving from one state to another state for the purpose of job or whatever it is, or permanently or temporarily, whatever it is, whatever may be the reason, that he or she did not deleted his name from the electoral roll of particular constituency. Okay, but they are residing in summer, so in that constituency also they will get they register their name. So because of this one, there is a multiple entry will be there in the electoral roll. Okay, to avoid this, we are doing for the SIR. Okay, Vakalar Sirappu Sirthatham, we are seeing this one, and this is one of the reason for the ongoing SIR in different states. This and this entire paragraph talks about situation in America. This paragraph situation in America. America, what happened in the Trump has ordered or he ordered or informed all the 50 states, because United States of America having the 50 states are united. Okay, so all the 50 states to hand over their full voter registration database. So this is what India must have. Okay, 50 மாநிலங்கள்ல மாகாணத்துல உள்ள complete registered electoral data must be given to Trump office. This is what he ordered. Okay, arguing that access to complete electoral roll was necessary to enforce federal election laws, and these are all for the whatever it is. Okay, and for that he has given some document. He has asked some document for the verification, passport, birth certificate, and all. And the data shows around 22 to 24 million non-citizens are in the US. They see. Okay, so based on the electoral registration database, 22 to 24 million non-citizens are there in US. So legally, estimate, and some are undocumented. That undocumented person who are living in the US are about millions of people. Similar case in India also. In India and the US, the notion of alien voters influence the politics inside. That means because of these undocumented or illegal migrants, it gives more impact on the election or in the politics also. This is what the author is highlighting the point. And how it is going to come to this paragraph. In this paragraph, I have summarized here how many percentage of the foreign persons are sharing in the other countries. For example, the United Kingdom has seen sharper transfer. The share of those foreign born NRIs, like not NRIs, other country people, how many are there in US and UK? How much share compared to their population in Canada and in Australia? Okay, this is one fact they are given. And this one is talks about there are about 35.4 million overseas Indians are there in the outside. Okay, and under the representation of the people amendment act 2010, Indian citizen having abroad can enroll and exercise their franchise in their place of residence in India as mentioned in the by mentioning their passport. இது புரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். யாரெல்லாம் வந்து that means NRIs have right to vote in the election through a different web portal open panni by showing the authentication by passport and address proof, everything they have to show, and they can give their vote. And some of the similar cases there in the Jammu and Kashmir also. Okay, the non-locals such as government officials who are residing more than 10 years, and those who are residing in Jammu Kashmir around 15 years, and students, they are also having the certain rights. This paragraph says, and this is paragraph talks about SIR. The right to vote is tied to particular polling booth where a citizen is ordinarily citizen. The SIR exercise is a determinant of whether one can vote, but also perhaps more importantly, where one can vote. அதாவது யாரெல்லாம் ஓட் போடுங்கிறது கிடையாது, எங்க அவனுடைய ஓட்டு உரிமை எங்க இருக்குது. That means to avoid double entry or multiple entry. So பீகார்லயும் ஓட் போட்டு தமிழ்நாட்டிலயும் ஓட் போடுற மாதிரி ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் வந்துடக்கூடாதுங்கிறதுக்காக தான் they are doing this one. Okay, then come to here one point I said no. These migration people, whether legally or illegally or documented, undocumented, there is one word, it gives some of the strong reason in the politics of country. This is they have given the migratory system about in US. So for that some even in Maharashtra and some other election it has been reflected on the Hindi people speaking, Marathi people speaking certain somewhere I missed. Okay, leave it. Okay, then another one provision. US la ஒரு provision இருந்து என்னன்னா, if you want to get the US citizen, then people can go for the US only for child birth. சரியா? அதாவது இந்தியால கல்யாணம் பண்ணிட்டு இந்தியாவில கன்சீவ் ஆயிட்டு 9 மாசம் இல்ல 10 மாசம் எப்ப உனக்கு டெலிவரி ஆகும்னு ஒரு டாக்டர் டேட் சொல்லுவார். அந்த டேட்டுக்கு அங்க போய் தங்கிரு. அங்க போய் குழந்தை பெற்றுக்கிட்டேன்னா you will get அமெரிக்கன் சிட்டிசன். அதுதான் வந்து இருந்தது. So அதனால there was a tourism. Okay, there was a tourism. They will notify the people and they used to encourage the people and for that certain packages are there, and after birth then you can come back to India. Okay, this but இது வந்து ஒரு என்ன such a not that much wise plan. That is why Trump he removed that one. Okay, this one you can read very carefully. The 14th amendment of the US Constitution that all those born in US are eligible for citizenship. Until recently, an estimated 30,000 people were traveling to the US annually. Okay, 30,000 people travel to the US annually to give birth. Not only from India, from other country also. And there were tour companies. அதுக்குன்னு ஒரு tour company எவனுக்குலாம் கல்யாணம் முடியுதோ, எவனுக்குலாம் வந்து US சிட்டிசன் வேணும்னு ஒரு ஆசை இருக்கோ, இல்லை இவனுடைய ஒரு ஆசையை தூண்டி விட்டு ஒரு பேக்கேஜ் போட்டு, ஓகே இத்தனாம் தேதியா no problem, everything will be delivered, delivery with deliverance of citizenship. That scheme, and make a business model. And in 2015 a law made it legal for the people to seek visas giving birth, but in 2020 with the rise of Trump era, okay, it was withdrawn. Okay, and India also changes some citizenship. That also the CAA was introduced. Okay, Citizenship Amendment Act. Okay, so this is what is the points in this article. So with the idea of migration, in come to another one article, why more majority of the students are migrating from India to other countries. Okay, this is one of the nice article in terms of students point of view, because in many engineering colleges, even in our college also, in a big board is there, these many alumni people are studying abroad, US and MS they are doing. But what article says that it is not that much healthy decision by all the students going abroad for with the hope of getting better education and better employment. This is what the some data shows here. Okay, you can carefully read here. Today's migration is characterized by self-financed education, that the middle class invest heavy on the I'm going somewhat faster manner. Okay, it will take much more time if you reading very, because it's very easy to understand. ஆனா என்ன சொல்ல வராங்கறத மெசேஜ் உனக்கு நல்லா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும், so that you will not encourage some of your friends to go abroad only for the education which is not good institutions, we can say. What are the realities happening, that is explained by the authors here. more than 13.2 lakhs Indian students were enrolled in over 70 countries by 2023. Noted down. Now let's go. Okay. 13 lakhs Indian students have enrolled, and which rose to 2023. Either 24-25 13.8 lakhs of married. And India is one of the top centers of international students. United States and Canada 40%, and UK, Australia, Germany, followed by that. And the true picture talks about this one. With the doors opening to students from different socioeconomic classes, the reality is more complex. Many of these students are channeled into lower tier institution. In India, you know, which is the first class institution, IITs, IIMs, NITs, the tier 1 institution, you know very well. But this kind of tier based institutions is not clearly mentioned by the foreign countries. That is why they learned it into the lower tier institution and vocational colleges into courses offered unrelated to their expertise without much job prospects. And come to this paragraph. The outcome is de-skilling and underemployment, with many graduates unable to transition into skilled work. Okay. And the entire figure talks about the generalized the things. Not we are not concentrating the 1 or 2 or 10 or 100 or 1,000 candidate. The entire article is talking for the 13.8 lakh students going for the abroad for higher education. Okay, so do not shrink into a particular guy or particular people. And approximately 1 in every 4 postgraduate in the UK secures sponsored skilled, vice versa. Okay, that's one common point. The student migration from India represent a middle class aspirants with significant risk, especially from Kerala. Majority of them going outward. Returns from Kerala estimated 40,378 crore. Okay, India need inward remittance, not outward remittance. நீ இந்தியாவில இருந்து நல்லா படிச்சுட்டு வெளிநாட்டுக்கு போய் வேலை பார்த்து, if you are sending the amount to India, then it is the dollar is inward. This is one of the, you are contributing to the Indian government. Okay, and அதுக்கும் Trump opposite. ஏன்னா those who are working US, if you are sending amount to your country, okay, whatever amount you are sending to your country, adula 30% tax. Okay, so if other countries are highly conscious about their own economy, why India is not concentrating? And this is one question for us. Okay, you are ready to give 43,000 crore in particular one state. Okay, Kerala alone give this much crores of amount gives to other country. That means outward remittance. Remittance now outward வெளியே போகிறது transaction. Okay, ஆனா equivalent to about 20% of the total inward remittance in the labor migrants. Okay, இதுல 20% that we are getting in our foreign exchange reserve. This is also one of the reason why our currency is not appreciating, it is depreciating. Okay, and second point, the reverse remittance. This is what just now we were discussing. Most students migrate through self-financing or education loan, often mortgage, family property with, and the hope of getting better employment and higher wages that would repay debt and enable higher living standard. This is the hope, but reality ennaagudhu. But later the majority of them, 13 lakh students are there now, the majority of them life will end in debt, underemployment, forced return, or some other works. This is what happening. Adha example than given the Canada, US ingala evlo irukku eppadi pandranga, and around 30 to 40 lakhs rupees they have to spend to finance students abroad. So idana raising rent inga there in abroad, restricted working hours are there, visa caps exacerbate financial and mental strain, unable to find skilled work. Okay, so these are the things are playing vital role on Indian students, and often multiple multiple part-time jobs, sometimes undocumented work, long hours. These are all the various risk factor if you are migrating to abroad with the hope of better employment and better education, without knowing where you are taking the admission, where you are in the sense which type of institution, tier 1 or tier 2, or but here talks, but entire article talks about lower tier institutions. Okay, and the foreign universities establishing offshore campus, one of the problem, they are offshore campus to attract the students, but we have to be very conscious about the history of the institution. And majority of, here one point, the reason is more structural for many students studying in OECD countries, not only about education but also permanent residency, social mobility, and an escape from third world identity. You must know what is OECD countries. Okay, so OECD countries, OECD na OECD countries means the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development countries. So around 38 countries. So mostly the members around 38 member countries. So who are these 38 members? Mostly developed democratic countries, developed nations. But India is not a member to OECD country. India is not a member. Okay, so this is what the majority of the countries are in the Europe. Around 26 countries are OECD countries and the European Union. Europe. Okay, in North America, Mexico. Okay, these are the North America and Asia and Latin America. This one. So only one country is the member country in the OECD in the Middle East, that is Israel. Okay, so these are the common points related to this article. Okay, any article is missed here? 1, 2, 3. And this is one of science and tech. You just note it down. So recently they have included the MH-64 helicopters commission in the INS Hansa. Okay, this one no needed that much information regarding this one. I think this is sufficient. So shall we move now? So read it once and we will meet tomorrow. Shall we leave?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma. Okay, thank you then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma. Yeah.
Okay, sir.